Hi, and welcome to another Ask Us Anything Live with Intrepid English. I'm Kate R, and as I do every Friday, I'm here to talk about it can be a grammar point, a pronunciation point, a vocabulary point. And if you like these videos, I would absolutely love it if you could hit the like and subscribe so that you get notified every Friday when I go live. And so you can learn more every week. So this week, the weather here has actually been pretty bad. So I suddenly thought of all these weather idioms, and they're also in a lot of songs. So I was thinking to myself of all these idioms. Now I have done already one live before on weather idioms. So I've put the link to that video in the comments in the description. And I'm going to talk about 10 other super weather idioms today. So the first one is to be snowed under. So this means when you have too much work to do, you are super burdened, you are overwhelmed with work. That is to be snowed under, which is a very easy one to understand because if you imagine that it snows a lot and you're in your home and the snow covers your home, if you're in a chalet, for example, then you would be snowed under. And you can also be snowed under with work. The next one is to rain on someone's parade. So this is a great song, one of my all-time favorite songs. But to rain on someone's parade, in the song they say, "Don't rain on my parade," and it means don't rain on my dreams. Don't dampen my enthusiasm, my dreams, what I want to do. Don't tell me no to a dream. So don't rain on my parade is don't stop me from achieving my dreams. Okay. So for example, yeah, exactly. I would say to somebody, don't rain on my parade. I am going to achieve my dream. The next one is to storm out. So if you're really angry with somebody, and you don't want to see them and you want to leave really quickly and angrily, then you storm out. So she stormed out of the room after the argument. The next one is to be under the weather. So I feel I have been under the weather since Christmas. I have had constantly one cold after the other. It's very annoying in this season. So it's to be ill, to not feel 100%, to, be a bit sick. The next one is to weather a storm. So he has weathered a storm recently, and it has been difficult, but now he is in a much better place. So this means to weather a storm is to go through a difficult period. It could be financial, it could be emotional, it could be anything, but it is a difficult time and you go through it. To weather a storm. Okay, the next one is a bolt out of the blue. So when you get a bolt out of the blue, it's something that's a real shock. It's a real surprise. You don't expect it at all. Oh my God. I saw this old friend in the street the other day. It was a real bolt out of the blue. I did not expect to see that person. The next one is to have a face like thunder. So if you have a face like thunder, you are not happy. You are extremely angry and your face is really angry. When she saw him, his face was like thunder. So she backed away quickly because she realized he was in a bad mood. The next one is a nice one. It's to be as right as rain. I hope I will be as right as rain soon. So as right as rain means to feel good or everything is going well. So it can be how you're feeling, but it can also be that everything is going well in your life. So for example, if someone says to you, "How are you?" you can reply, if everything is going well, you go, "Oh, right as rain." Okay, that everything is Another expression would be hunky-dory that I love saying. If everything is hunky-dory, or as right as rain, everything is all good, no problems, everything is going well. The next one is to get wind of something. So to get wind of something is when you hear something that maybe you weren't meant to hear. It's maybe a little secret. So for example, I got wind of a secret the other day that someone is going to get fired in my husband's restaurant. So I was like, oh, got wind of that. I found out, I heard something that maybe I shouldn't hear. The next one is to keep a weather eye on something. So if you imagine the weather, it changes all the time. So you've got to keep a close eye on it. You've got to be, you've got to pay attention. You've got to watch closely to any changes. Certainly, for example, if you were sailing, you need to know all the changes in the weather. So, for example, to keep a weather eye on something is to watch something closely. So, for example, I know my grandmother, she kept a weather eye on the stock market. She watched it closely. Okay, so I believe, have I done them all? I believe I've done my 10 that I wrote down. Yes, I have. So if you can, it would be absolutely incredible if you could write some examples of these idioms that I have given you, some examples of your own, because I think that's such a great way to practice. When you start using them and making examples of your own, you start then being able to learn them. So I hope to read some absolutely amazing examples either on the comments of this video, or you can also, if you're one of our students, go on our page to Ask Us Anything group, and I can respond to and correct straight away for you. And as always, if ever you are not a student with us or you want to become a student with us, don't hesitate to book a trial lesson with me and to see how I can help you in your English for your personalized one-to-one lessons. In the meantime, I hope you have a great weekend and see you next Friday.